Hey everybody, Desiree Fletcher Carruthers, and we are on the final day of the 2022 World Taxidermy and Fish Carving Championships. Now, if you were following along with us yesterday, and us meaning Matuska Taxidermy and Supply, we had a walkthrough of the main competition room. So we looked at novice, we looked at youth, we looked at the professional and masters divisions. And so today we are going to take a look at some specialty divisions that we didn't get a chance to look at yesterday. And so we've got the Masters of Masters, we have the Bronze Sculpture Invitational, the Interpretive Taxidermy Division, and the Collective Artist Division. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. So come on, come with me, and we're going to check out these additional pieces. So here we have the Masters of Masters Division. And so this is like the elite of elite, and this division is open to World Taxidermy Championship judges, alternate judges, former winners of the Best in Word title, so you had to win the Best in World category, or first place Masters Division winners. So this is the category that is for our most experienced taxidermists. So here we have a bobcat by Brian Hendricks. And if you've heard me speaking to you before, I have just been in love with all of the cats here. Their facial expressions, they just all seem so realistic. And I should note that Kate, our social media specialist, professional, whatever we want to call her, she is going to do her best to keep our video footage level and smooth. But you know, there might be a few bumps in the carpet here, so I hope that nobody gets seasick. Go ahead and take your Dramamine while you're at it, but enjoy the show. So we have our bobcat here in Masters of Masters, and we are making our way around to just a beautiful bird here that you're about to see. And this is from one of the veteran taxidermists that we have seen in the industry for a long, long time, doing amazing work. And this is Kent Reedy, and he has a red golden pheasant. And for those of you familiar with birds, pheasants come in so many different shades and colors. I think I know we're most familiar with the ringneck pheasant, but there are so many beautiful options. So this is one of them. And as Kate comes around with the camera, do take note to the feathers that are around the head and the beak. They are able to show off and fan out their plumage, and just a really beautiful, colorful bird. And then next up, we're coming to another big cat. This is a cheetah by Daniel Ming. Look how soft that fur looks. Very supple, very realistic. Such a pretty cat. And then we are going to wrap up the Masters of Masters division with this King Eider that Kate is around the corner, and she is going to see. And this one is by Frank Newmeyer, another veteran of the industry who does awesome work. And this one actually won a couple different prizes here. So it won third place in the Collective Artist Division, and then also a second place in the Interpretive Division. And so just a fantastic job with the water. And let me tell you, waves are not easy. They are not easy. The materials generally have to be heated up and then manipulated to get that water, rolling water type look, and then to fit the bird in there perfectly, that takes a lot of effort. So if you are someone who is interested in a water scene for your waterfowl, just know there's a lot that goes into that, and warm up your checkbook. Because it's going to cost you a little bit extra because of all of the work and materials that goes in there, but the outcome is so worth it, guys. And so that was our Masters of Masters division. And now we are going to swing around, and we are going to take a look at the interpretive sculpture. Actually, not the interpretive, it's the Bronze Sculpture Invitational. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself there. But come on over. And we have a buffalo here by Ed Hannon. And then we've got a lovely family of cougars you're going to see back there. This Roadrunner that we're coming up on, this is a prize winner. It took best of category for the Bronze Wildlife Invitational. So we have a Roadrunner here by Terry Van Lorenow, I believe. And then if we come back around, and we've got some bears over here. And bronze is not an easy medium to work with. It takes a lot of time, a lot of attention to detail, a lot of sculpting to get all of the hairs and the muscle striations and the movement just right. And then as we come over here, we have, it's called Down the Ridge. I know Kate's coming around the corner here, so you can check out all aspects of this bronze sculpture, but this is called Down the Ridge, and it is, it's a best of category as well. Very beautiful. It's a human and horse sculpture. And then we're going to end this category with a very beautiful mountain lion. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's just a lot of hair work in the bark of the tree, the rocks, a lot of attention to detail for that habitat in this sculpture turned into a bronze. So this was the Bronze Wildlife Invitational. So it's just important to note that the Taxidermy and Fish Carving Championships, it's not only for taxidermists of actual bird and mammal forms, but also artists that are into bronze and wood carving and those mediums as well that like to bring nature to life. And so if you want to follow me, we're going to come over to the recreation section, and we have an eagle in flight. As you can see by the blue winner, this received a first place in this category. And recreation, so this guy looks fantastic, and Kate's going to come along and get a close-up. But all of these feathers here, they're not eagle feathers, okay? So this is a recreation. So you have different feathers from different birds, some goose feathers, maybe some chicken feathers, but they all came together to look very lifelike. And I believe I overheard a conversation where when you do something like this, or at least for this particular piece, all of the feathers were labeled, marked, ironed, steamed, whatever they had to be prepared for this piece, and then added to this bird one by one. Can you imagine? I know I couldn't imagine. And to make it look so lifelike and full, fantastic. So this piece was by Frank Newmeyer and Jeff Whitmer. Recreation of an eagle in flight. Next, we are moving on to the interpretive taxidermy division. And basically, in this division, the gloves are taken off on creativity, and this is expressly designed for the artist's creative expression, really focusing on how they brought the display and presentation of the piece together. The taxidermy, important, but flashlights and those sorts of things aren't used on these pieces as well because it's the overall interpretation. So we have Dave Salinka with a brown trout. This next piece by Terry Johnson, the smallmouth bass, was a fan favorite. It received a first place and won several other awards, I do believe. And in fact, I think, Kate, remind me, this is an Ackley Award winner, was it not, this piece?
It's very possible, but I cannot 100% give you an yes or no.
Okay, well, we are on the fence on that, but I'm pretty sure that this was, it was not recognized in the Ackleys. Okay, not in the Ackleys. Okay, I was wrong. But I know that I've seen it pop up more than once, so my bad. But this was a popular piece, and I know that it did receive more than one award here, but very deserving of the first place. This one, awesome piece. We've got a different spin on the Red Riding Hood story, and as you can see, the Big Bad Wolf won this one. The Big Bad Wolf won this one, so it received third place in the interpretive division, but it also received a first place in the Masters division. And so he's pretty happy with his trophy right there, as he should be. His bonnet, his glasses, nice wolf mount. And you can see $3,500 this one took home. So big prizes there. Next up we have a bobcat by Shane Davenport, and he's out there reaching his bird. So you've got a wood sculpture in with the actual form of the bobcat along with the cactus. A lot of great motion there. Got a second place in the interpretive division. And then as we come over for our last piece in the interpretive division, you have a raccoon that is doing what raccoons do best, and that's finding treasures out mostly in garbage cans and alongside the road, and then hauling them home because they are such inquisitive creatures. And this little guy is no different. I love the sculpted owls that are part of this piece and display. The flowers bring out a nice pop of color. So first place designation in the interpretive division. Next we are moving on to the collective artist division, and basically what this means is that there is more than one artist that worked on these pieces. So all of the displays that we're going to see going forward, more than one taxidermy worked on these. Right here we have best of category for fish, a first place designation in the collective artist division, and this was by Don Frank and Jimmy Lawrence, and this is a bass getting ready to eat. Great attention to detail, and I am just continually blown away that when it comes to fish, each scale is painted individually. That takes a tremendous amount of patience and attention to detail. The patience part, I would never be able to get this done. I might get about 10 scales in and decide, you know what, I'll leave this to the professionals. I'll leave this to the professionals. Here we have another eagle recreation. This is by Frank Neumeier and Jeff Whitburn, and just love the fishing aspect of it, catching its prey out of the waves. Again, the feathers looking fantastic, each one put into place individually. Really amazing work. Next up we have a pheasant on top of the sculpture here of a cat. Received second place in the collective artist division, and this is by Dave Schumacher and John Pine. Each artist bringing their specialty to each piece. Here we have a husband and wife team on this mule deer. This is Greg and Janice Kubler.
Just a reminder, we close at 1. We need to have you pick up your...
And that received a second place designation in the collective artist division. And next up we've got a bevy of birds that all did fantastically. First place ribbons for all of these guys. So we can say congratulations to Josh and Bob Gucci, Crystal Van Omen. Oh my gosh, this is one of our international friends, so we're just going to say congratulations to Crystal and Ring and Carrie. We'll leave it at that. Those last names are beyond me, and we will call it good. Notoriously known for their smaller birds and their perfection in that area. Okay, moving on, we have Daniel Ming and Remington Hutton for their Capuchin monkey. And our next display here, I have to say I'm a little biased because this sea turtle that's coming up is pretty much my favorite of the whole show. It received a 3rd place for collective artists, but it also received a best of category for the Bronze Wildlife Sculpture Invitational. I think it is absolutely amazing. We're kind of sectioned off here, so I'm not sure if Kate's going to be able to capture the whole display, but just so much detail. It looks tremendous and lifelike. I love the fact that the sand is flipped up on the shell, like this sea turtle was, you know, digging a hole like they are known to do. And if you're able to see the bottom, you can see that there are a lot of hidden treasures that people generally leave in the sand, shovels and little cars and even some garbage. Because let's face it, we're the worst at leaving our garbage on beaches and waterways and oceans, but this mount is not the worst. It is pretty darn awesome. I've been fascinated by it since we came here, so I just love it. And this piece was put together by Mitch Black. So this is not part of the collective artist division per se, but it's a great piece. Alright, here we have Dennis Harris with his zebra received the 1st place information. Very nice. Whole high displayed uniquely. Almost like a rug, but not quite. This would be fantastic in a museum or someplace with like 30-foot ceilings where you could really display it on a large wall. And next up we have Dennis Harris and Daniel Lee with their leopards. Handsome guy. Here we have a white-headed deer with a 3rd place honored by Keith Stad and Daniel Lee. Daniel was having a good time collaborating with other taxidermists. And I think that's a really cool thing when you can see your talent with other artists and come up with something beautiful. Here we have another mule deer from Vincent Fleming and Klaus Lyons. Or Olas, sorry, you can see there, Olas Lyons. And then here we have Joe, Justin, and Carrie Kelly Geriat with their African lion. I am struggling with these names today, guys, so sorry about that, but we will try to get that correct. So, Joe, Justin, and Kelly Geriat. Love this guy. I don't know how well you can see, but just really the muscles and just the very majestic expression on the face. We have Joe, Justin, and Kelly again with their white-tailed deer, 3rd place. Our lion a second ago had a 2nd place. And the Philip Susi Studios with Forest Heart, this is their cougar, received a 1st place. I know this was a fan favorite, the mother with her 2 pups. Very loving, very expressive. I've heard several individuals share how much they really enjoyed that piece. And then to wrap up our tour is a mountain lion. So we can give kudos to Ricky, Ferguson, and Huffaker for this tremendous piece. And with that, folks, that is going to wrap up our walkthrough of the specialty divisions. And today is the last day. So for those of you who are here, I hope you enjoyed your stay. And for those of you who couldn't make it this year, we look forward to seeing you in 2020.